Hello everyone and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. Oklahoma producers have been cutting wheat much later than usual this year because of the unusually wet spring. And it's been especially challenging in eastern Oklahoma, where the Oklahoma Wheat Commission says as of July 1st, they're at about the halfway mark with harvest. Today, Sunup's Curtis Hare takes us to Wagner County to meet the producer who's weathered not only rains, but also flooding to make a crop this year.
At Livesay Orchards, peaches have made this farming family famous. While tourists from all over come to Wagner County for the fruit, the Livesay family grows just about every Oklahoma crop you can think of. Blackberries, apples, squash, corn, soybeans, and even a crop not typically grown in eastern Oklahoma, wheat.
There's a lot of different jobs to be done throughout the year, and it also makes it a little easier a lot of the times if you have different weather, if it's dry or if it's wet. If it's bad for one crop you're working on, hopefully it might be good for another crop you're going to work on later, so it can kind of take the edge off of some weather events sometimes.
Brian Livesay manages the field crops at the farm. If having a diverse production takes the edge off of weather events, it sure came in handy this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not unusual for us to have enough rain. It keeps us out of the field a while, but this year it kept us out of the field on and on and on, and then we'd have maybe a day or two, and then it'd rain again, and it was just a really abnormally wet year for how long it stayed wet.
In the past 180 days, about 30 inches of rain fell in Wagner County. To make matters worse, Brian's production sits right next to the Arkansas River.
Well, about 15 to 20% of our wheat acres got flooded out, and they were underwater, and we're just not going to be able, some of it's sprouting, we're just not going to be able to cut it and sell it, really. And same on the corn, about 15 to 20% of what the corn we planted got flooded. We had to replant that, but we were able to replant it. On the wheat, it's late enough, we just couldn't do anything with it, really.
Yeah, we're standing probably, in the neighborhood of about 100 yards off of the riverbank here from the Arkansas River, and in Wagner County, we have two river basins that run through our county. So we have a lot of, in a lake also, Lake Fort Gibson, we have a lot of water resources here that we have to deal with.
I haven't seen anything like this. I was born in 1990. In 1986, that was the last time we had a major flood of the Arkansas River, and my dad remembers that very well. And I think the water was about the same height. It flooded some of the same areas, but this year they opened up the gates really slowly. And in '86, they had to open them up in a big hurry, so it really cut up the fields a lot worse. They had to do a whole lot of dirt work to try to level stuff back up.
Unfortunately, we are a reservoir that drains a lot of the country in Oklahoma and even into parts of Kansas. So when it rains in Kansas, we basically have to deal with that runoff too that comes down the Verdigris. And that's the issues that we're facing right now. And our rivers are still running full, and every time we come up with a 3 or 4 inch rain, we have flash flood problems right now.
While the flooding caused Brian to lose some of his crop, it's also impacted where he can take his grain after it's harvested.
Well, our local port we normally haul stuff to is the Port of Duncan between Coweta and Wagner, but it got flooded up into the bins, all the bins, and it's kind of a smaller port, so it's not like a high priority one to get fixed. So it's not running yet, but the one down at Webbers Falls, they've gotten back open. So we've been hauling down there, and we've been emptying out our bin, running back down to Weber, but it is maybe 30 minutes farther than the Port of Duncan. I don't know exactly, but it's really pretty good because it was never really drought stressed at all. So what we do have is maybe not our best yield, but it's still going to be a pretty good yield overall where we're able to cut.
Brian still has a few hundred acres left to cut, and he's hoping for a few more consecutive dry days. With all the stress with the wheat this year, it won't be long until he can shift his focus to another crop. And he wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I don't really remember, but my mom said at kindergarten graduation, whenever they had everybody say what they wanted to be, or they announced what everybody wanted to be, I'd said I wanted to be a farmer back then. And I really don't know if I hadn't grown up on a farm, what in the world I would have done with my life, because there's just not a whole lot else that appeals to me as far as something that I could do as a job that makes money.
In Wagner County, I'm Curtis Hare.